Hello there, YouTube. It is your boy B3, back with another kicking graphic novel review. Today we are looking at the collected edition of Gamma Flight, which is a book that spun out of Immortal Hulk. I believe we've reviewed all of Immortal Hulk. I have to review some of the side issues, because there were volumes that collected tie-ins and stuff. Still haven't reviewed all those, but I reviewed the entire Immortal Hulk run. So let me read the back of Gamma Flight here real quick. Okay. Go on the run with the Outlaws of Gamma Flight in this action-packed addition to the Immortal Hulk mythos. They had one job: find and stop the Hulk. But when push came to smash, Gamma Flight sided with the Green Goliath. And now the human world intends to make them regret it. Puck, Absorbing Man, Titania, Doc Squatch, Dr. Dr. Charlene McGowan and a horribly changed Rick Jones are fugitives from every known authority. But a team this full of gamma energy is bound to break before long, especially when they learn who's after them. And don't miss the shocking revelation about Rick Jones, the Marvel Universe's most beloved sidekick. You've been calling for them since Immortal Hulk's early days. Well, true believer, we're about to deliver. Rated T for Teen from Marvel Comics, collecting Gamma Flight number 1 through 5 by Al Ewing, Crystal Frazier, Lon Medina, and Antonio Fabela. Now, right off the bat, I just want to say, this, to me, kind of feels like one of those books that was mandated. They were like, Gamma Flight's really popular. You have to write a Gamma Flight book. Because this book, it doesn't seem like there was as much heart in it as Immortal Hulk or anything. This seemed like something where Marvel was like, Immortal Hulk made us an unholy amount of money. So we need a bunch of tie-ins and we need a spin-off for Gamma Flight and blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't feel like this was ever really something intended. Just something that was forced upon Ewing. That doesn't mean it's not good. It just feels like that. But it's fine. It's honestly fine. But, we have Absorbing Man, who I really like the redemption of Absorbing Man and Titania. I hear they walked it back a little in the She-Hulk series that came about after all this, as well as maybe some other things. But I want Absorbing Man, Titania. I really like it. They bring an edge to the team that it just would not have without them. They're really excellent in it. Really excellent in it. I feel like there's some really clunky exposition at the beginning of this book to maybe kind of remind you who all these characters are. But that's, I guess, to be expected. Doesn't mean I have to like it, but it's to be expected, And then Rick Jones and that other guy whose name I can't remember. Rick Jones and Del Fry, that's what it says here. They're still sharing kind of a gamma body, and it's very awkward for them, and they're having a lot of trouble. I think they were actually an excellent part of this book as well. But then there is this kind of gamma mutate attacking a city. Gamma Flight goes to help, even though the government doesn't want their help because they're fugitives. And the woman that they're fighting seems to be running from a kind of Hulkbuster-esque gamma think tank military thing. She's not the bad guy here. So they decide to rescue her. Her name is Dione. Dione? I think it's pronounced Dione. That's the only way I can think to pronounce it. But then Scar shows up. The Hulk's son from space. And he was unirradiated forever ago, but it seems like they gave him his powers back, and now he has these spikes coming up out of his shoulder and freaky eyes, and he has the fingers coming out of his face, the little body horror fingers that were in Immortal Hulk on the Abomination. And a lot of the body horror in this book just feels like it's kind of left over from Immortal Hulk. Like in Immortal Hulk, it had purpose, and it just feels like it's here because it was in another book, if that makes sense. But there is a really cool variant cover later on that's like a Where the Wild Things Are cover. I just wanted to mention that. That's for this issue I'm about to start talking about. But yeah, Scar comes to retrieve Dione. Tell me if I'm mispronouncing her name. I'm fine being corrected. Actually, I would like to be corrected. But they seem to have both been soldiers together. And then, Absorbing Man tries to turn himself into other things because his powers are magical. So they've kind of expanded recently. I mean, they're the same powers they were. He's just learning how to use them better. So he can kind of turn himself into machines he touches and stuff now. Turn himself into weapons or a teleporter. That doesn't work out. We find out the original Abomination is back, and he's giving samples of his own flesh so that his new scientists can create all these gamma mutates for him. And then there's this town that they find that has a bunch of kind of gamma mutates in it, and it seems to be a town that's controlled by Abomination. And General Reginald Fortean from Shadowbase, he was dead, but now he's here. Like, his neck is snapped, so his head's twisted around, and he has like this gamma Abomination aura that he's like stuck to. And this Dione is like his daughter, and she thought she was following his orders, but it was actually Emil Blonsky, the Abomination, the original one, not her dad, who was the more recent Abomination. So, someone in her father's body has been manipulating her. The Green Door, people have been swapping bodies and personalities and stuff. Read Immortal Hulk. Immortal Hulk is amazing. It really, truly is. One of Marvel's best books in recent years, dare I say, all time. Absolutely incredible. But it seems like this was a government project that kind of maybe went AWOL. Now they're kind of black ops, and they're going to start a coup, it seems, to overthrow the government with all of their irradiated soldiers and whatnot. There's big fighting, lots of fighting. There's like an evil scientist that we get to see who's just cartoonishly evil. I liked the scientist in Immortal Hulk a little better because, they had like character to him. A lot of them did anyway, including the one that we have here who joined up with Gamma Flight. Dr. Charlene McGowan. But yeah, it's a good book where they, it brings back the original Abomination and it brings back Scar. We get Compile, I believe was her name. Dione, a new Gamma character that's very body horror. Has a cool power, honestly. She can like absorb things, break them down, and absorb them into her body mass. It's actually really cool. Rick and the guy he was fused with, they can get separated from each other, which is very interesting. So they do get separated finally, but they still... Rick seems mostly normal, but the other guy is still like a green skeleton, man. Poor kid. He was in like high school when he died and came back to the Green Door. You gotta feel bad for the kid. You really do. Plus all the experiments and you feel bad for him. You do. But Gamma Flight is a good book. If you've read Immortal Hulk and you're hungry for more, I say go for it. If you, for some reason, didn't like Immortal Hulk, you might even like this, because once again, it's not that much like Immortal Hulk. This really seems to be kind of a publisher-mandated, hey, this was a popular book, so we have to beat it into the ground. That being said, it does make sense to give Gamma Flight a separate book. It makes sense to give them a miniseries. Not an ongoing. I don't think an ongoing would have worked out super well. But a 5-issue limited run, that worked out. It's a good book. If you read Immortal Hulk and want more, I say go for it. And you never know. It might be necessary for future Hulk books. I haven't read all that Starship-y Hulk stuff yet. With Banner of War and whatnot. I haven't read any of that. But I know it's very different than Immortal Hulk. Which is fine by me. But I think a lot of people just wanted more Immortal Hulk. Anyways, that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Once again, it's a good book with good art. It's a good story. It just isn't the same as what it's spinning out of. And I guess it shouldn't be, but a lot of it just feels forced. That's it. Thank you all once again. I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.